what we like. We're your hosts, Cindy and Sonia.
Join us each week as we discuss the world of adulthood with some Ratchet recap and fun sessions. Could be petty because I have a petty spirit. So if our petty spirit is live and well,
I definitely recommend.
because I feel like it's my page,
Right.
and I should be able to post what I want to post.
I live my life unapologetically. I do. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Sonia.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I am looking forward to this weekend. Not that I have anything to do. I'm just looking for a break from work.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. And the funny thing is, I just came off of a 4-day weekend, and I'm still, when I got to work on Monday, I was like, whew, I feel like this been a long week. I need the weekend.
Already, right? I know. And tomorrow is my Friday because I'm taking
Ooh.
Friday off. But again, I really don't have anything going on. Just taking a little break. So I am definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, I know. 3-day weekends and 4-day weekends are really good, especially if you're not going anywhere. Like you just getting some extra time to do little stuff at home that you don't get to do or whatever. I like me a good 3-4 day weekend.
Yeah, if I could do a 4-day week, I would do that. I would jump at the opportunity to do that.
Yes,
But that's not on the table right now, so I have to deal with
I would
being
too.
at work Monday through Friday. But anywho, let's jump into some car chatter.
Yes, okay, let's do it. What we got this week?
Did you see yesterday about the celebrities and
The schools?
businessmen? Yes.
Yes.
That's what we doing now. I'm not gonna even say that's what we doing now because I'm sure they've been doing that for a very long time.
Yes.
But
And
the
you know,
messiness of it all.
what's really sad about that is a lot of minorities base themselves on going to like Harvard and Georgetown, like the big schools, and they think, wow, I'm not good enough to get in, and all of these white kids are able to get in when really, we don't know. Some of them are probably paying to get in and, sliding 20s in applications.
Yes.
And I was listening to this show today, and this guy was saying that he called in and it was a white guy. And he said that people were telling him that pretty much that's the way to do it. Like you send your application and then you mail a check to a coach or to the tennis coach or the golf coach or to the teams that don't generate a lot of money. You mail those coaches money and it's almost a given that your child will get on the team, and they'll
Right.
never play. They won't even be on the roster or whatever. They just get in. And that's how they get in.
That was in the reports. They said that this is not something new. It didn't just start happening. It was very extensive and it has been going on for a very long time. And it was a total of 50 warrants were issued,
Right.
and 33 of those were parents. And one was calling
Wow.
Aunt Becky. Was it Full House from back in the day?
Yeah. From one was from Full House and one was
Yes.
from Desperate
So
Housewives.
I was like, okay, that's crazy, but see, this is what you get. So we don't have to try to fashion ourselves after them and thinking that it's an accomplishment to get in these schools, because these kids are going and they're not, a lot of them are probably not qualified to be there or not doing the hard work it takes
Right.
to get there legitimately.
Right. And what's really sad about that, like 2 years ago, it was this lady who they arrested and sent to jail because she lied on a school application and said she lived in one district and she really lived in another district, just because the district that she lived in, the schools were really, poor, and she
Yes.
wanted to send her kids to a better school, so she lied
And
about
I've
the
seen
district.
reports of that.
And so she went to jail for this. I doubt very seriously that these people are gonna wind up serving any time.
And another thing, did you see in the news yesterday Jussie Smollett walking into the courtroom?
I saw that baby walking into the room like he just this baby have issues. He done asked the judge, could he wants cameras in there because he wants the truth to come out. Like, this poor baby has
Okay,
issues.
so he was requesting cameras.
Yes, he requested the cameras
You
to
know
be.
what? I missed that part, and I think I missed that part because I was concentrating on the fact, number one, the walk in the courtroom, number one, and number two, the fact that it said his presence was not required, but
Right.
he chose to show
He
up.
chose to come.
Really?
He chose to come, and he requested for the whole trial that he wants cameras in the courtroom because he wants the truth to come out and he wants it to be on camera. So here's my thing, and he was strutting in the courtroom like he was going
Yes, he
up to
was.
get an Oscar or something. Like, he had shades on and everything. Like, it's somebody needs to be checking on this baby because it's something not right with this child. Like, it's
Yeah.
definitely not, something's not right. Like, where are his family members that will pull his coattail and say, you
I
don't.
thought they were walking behind him with their shades on too.
No, see, it's got to be a sane one in the family. He has several siblings. One of them should have said, "Hold on, if he don't have to be there, then what are we doing? Like, this makes no sense. What are we doing?"
Yeah, that was way crazy, and it gives you the feeling that he's really not taking this seriously. And I'm wondering, did his attorney explain to him that last week he was charged with 16
Right.
counts? Doesn't seem like he's taking it very seriously.
This is serious, sweetness. Like,
Some of them want to be relevant, and they'll take that any way they can get it.
you are kissing your career bye bye. That's what you're doing.
One more thing in car chatter is, I know you are not a sports fan. Well, you do like basketball, right?
I do.
Okay. Not that this is about the game itself, but this is about Russell Westbrook's interaction with a fan the other night. And it was all over social media today, I think yesterday, about him. And I think that the thing that was getting a lot of attention was him calling out the wife. Did you see that report?
Okay, see, I only saw like the headline and never got to read the full story. So I just got the gist of it. Was it that a fan shouting something, or it was a Twitter
Well, the
beef or
fan
something,
basically
or
said, or the story is that the fan said, get down on your knees like you used to, or like something along those lines. And then
oh.
Russell went back at him and said,
Mm-hmm.
I will fuck you up. Like, don't go there with me. And apparently the wife said something and he
Mm-hmm.
said, I fuck both of y'all
Ooh.
up.
Ooh.
So, and I think people had issue with him saying that to the wife.
Right.
But a lot of people were on his side because fans will come in and they say stuff, they will cuss at you, they will do all this stuff to the players, but the players cannot react. The players cannot say anything, and that's just not fair to them. From my understanding, the fan has been banned from the arena. and Russell Westbrook got fined $25,000. And the other thing to note is the fans said he never said anything out of place to Russell.
Wow.
He was just telling him to ice his knee or put heat on his knee. But reports went back. He has deleted the majority of his tweets, but you know that stuff never goes away. So it's coming out the things that he has actually tweeted in the past. He's called somebody the N word. And he has had rants about Russell before. And he's been very vocal
Oh,
about his dislike. So the story that he's telling about what happened doesn't match what Russell and the other players are saying. And not only that, it doesn't line up with his tweets in the past. And the bigger question is, dude, why are you deleting your tweets?
right, right. And see, for me, I'm one who says we have to remember that these players are people. They're people. And so just because they don't play like you want them to, or they don't make the basket or the touchdown, or they foul or whatever, you don't get to talk to them talk to them any kind of way just because they're players. They're people. They're playing a game, but they're people. And so, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have popped off at her because she was a woman. But if you dish it, you should be able to take it when it comes back. I mean, that's what I tell my daughters all the time, and I have 3 daughters, and I don't believe a man should put their hands on a woman or should, talk crazy to you. He should be respectful and all that. But I also say if you're willing to step out there and say stuff and do stuff, you have to also deal with the consequences of that. So you dish it, you should be able to take it. So she out there popping off at the mouth, and then he say, "You can get it too." I'm not. He didn't put his hands on her. He just let it. And sometimes you say stuff without thinking. Like somebody say something to you, and then you say something back, and then you like, "Ooh, I really
You
didn't even."
immediately react. And he said today he has never put his hands on a woman. He never would put his hands on a woman. He's never had any type of domestic situations. That's not something he would do. But they were very wrong in what they were saying to him. It came from a racist point, and he didn't appreciate it. And he said what he said, and the league needs to do more about protecting the players because they always
Right,
say what the players can't do. But you need to have
right,
some type of guidelines on protecting the
right.
players from the fans. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up our card chatter for the week, and we will go into this week's conversation and we will talk about not R. Kelly per se, but let's talk about the
Okay.
2 young ladies that is living with him, or should
I
I say his
guess they're
girlfriends?
living with him, but they did say they were in a relationship.
They did say that. So we have a clip from Gayle King's interview with Azriel and Jocelyn. So we're going to play that clip and we'll talk about that.
What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah,
We
that's
live
what
with
it
him,
is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as
Both
well.
of you.
Yes,
Yes.
most definitely.
How do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a 3-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
Yeah.
those. We
Both of
both
those?
have our individual relationships with him, and
Right.
we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azriel going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about is it a 3-way sexual relationship?
Sexually, well, first
between
of all,
the
I'm not
three of you?
here to talk about my personal life,
Okay.
and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
No, I wouldn't. But
Okay, then.
But,
So,
no,
yeah.
no, you're
next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not.
Okay, Azriel wasn't happy. So that was a small clip from their interview with Gayle. I wanted to talk about them, but I wanted to concentrate on the ladies. What did you think of the clip that we just heard? and their support.
You know, there were so many things that jumped out at me, and I will say that I didn't watch the entire interview. But there were some things that jumped out at me, like it felt scripted, and it almost felt like which it was, that he was right there. And so they both were, especially Azriel, she was very guarded about what she would say, but she was real defensive. Like, I'm not,
So you think Azriel was guarded,
like she was
with her?
She was particular about, like, when I thought that was a valid question. Are you three sleeping together? I thought that was a valid question, because you come on TV to talk about your relationship with R. Kelly, and you sitting with another female who has a relationship with him too. One would want to know, are y'all three sleeping together, or is it like some sister wife situation where he go
Right.
to you on Mondays and Wednesdays and her Tuesday and Thursdays? Like, I don't know. She just seemed guarded but defensive at the same time.
Yeah. For me, I didn't think that she came across as guarded. I feel like, and I didn't see the entire interview either, but the clips that I've seen, I feel like Jocelyn is more guarded and doesn't say as much. Azriel, she's a little pit bull. Like, it seemed like she was just coming off the bat, and she jumped on the defensive because I feel like maybe it made her uncomfortable, or she's not as okay
Right.
with the whole relationship with the other woman as she is supposed to be. But yes, she got very defensive when that question came up. And it was a valid question, because they both just admitted that they both
she was defensive.
had a relationship with him.
Right. So why are you mad about somebody asking you what obviously everybody wants to know? And then when they were blaming everything on their parents, now I will say that I felt some kind of way about how the parents during the documentary, how the parents explained how they, to me, knowing what R. Kelly's past was, how they kind of just handed their children over to him because he was going to make their career or whatever. That, to me, yeah, that was kind of out of line for me. But do I think that it was to the extent of what she was saying that her parents did? They did this for money, blah, 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 and they're still doing things for money and all that. I don't know if I believe that part. Like, I do think their parents were very naive in the beginning, especially, I can't remember which one it was that he met when he was 13, and I think it was Azriel, and they found out later that they were having sex. I think that was her.
I think he met Azriel. I think she may have been 16, 17 when he met her. But I think her parents also did an interview with Gayle. But I saw a clip on that one as well. And mom says we let her go meet with him or go travel with him on her own. They met all of the people in R. Kelly's camp, which the majority of them were women. And they felt comfortable and they felt secure that she was going to be okay, because they had interacted with the people, they had met the people, so they felt like it was going to be okay. And then that's when they started letting her travel with him without them.
Now, which parents were they? Were they the ones
Azriel's parents.
Banging? Okay, was Azriel's parents the one at the end of the documentary were banging on, throwing rocks at the window and that kind of thing? Okay. So they were the ones who took her to
Yes,
the
they took her to the
concert.
concert. And they're also the ones that said when that first day that she met him at the hotel that they didn't know about and she was still underage at the time, they said after the fact they found text messages where it said that they had had sex. So in my mind I'm wondering, well, if mom and dad had text messages that said they had sex while she was 17, why didn't they go to the authorities with that?
Right. And in the documentary, I'm almost sure that they said she was younger than 17 when she met him at that hotel room. I'm pretty sure she was younger than 17 when she met him at that hotel room. And they even said in the documentary that when she met him in the
Mm-hmm.
hotel room and then they found out that she didn't go to school that day and they went to the hotel room and she was there, um that was the first time that they had had sex, because they later saw text messages where she referenced that, that particular time.
And see, and that's what I'm talking about. So I was a little bit confused why mom and dad didn't take that to the authorities.
I don't know. The whole situation seems like it's just like, I can't understand people who are saying that these girls, even though they're in their 20s now, that it's not some type of cult attitude or brainwashing or something, because just their mannerism alone, if they were free to come and go as they please, what would cause them not to meet up with their families? If when they first left and went to R. Kelly, they weren't in a bad place with their family. It wasn't like they were being abused or anything like that. So why wouldn't they want to meet up with their families? Or,
I
you
think
know,
they are free to come and go as they please. I believe that they are. I feel
I don't know. I don't. You know why I don't believe that? Because Gayle was talking about how he was sitting right behind a curtain when they were doing their interviews, and how he would cough when they would say something. And he even came out and asked her, "Do I need to shut this interview
and
down?"
I get that, but the reason I say I think that they are free to come and go, and maybe not all the time, but I don't think that they are locked in a house or chained in a room. I don't think that they're held hostage in that respect. I
Okay,
think
no.
that if it was a situation where they wanted to get away, they had every opportunity to because of the setting. And they were in a safe
Mm-hmm.
place. But that's what comes into
Right.
play, what is being said that they have, and that's the Stockholm syndrome. I pull
Right.
that
Right.
up for anyone who doesn't know. It is a condition that causes hostages to develop a psychological alliance with their captors as a survival strategy during captivity. And basically, somebody could kidnap you, they can hold you hostage,
Right.
and like you just said, pretty much brainwash you. And you will, even when you have the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, or even when you are freed from this person, you still feel an alliance towards them and you still want to be with them. So it is being said that's what the ladies have. And that's why they
Oh
have,
yeah.
after everything we know and after the treatment that we've been told is going on, the way he treats them,
Right.
but still they have this alliance towards him and don't want to leave him. So it's being said that they show signs of the Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, and I agree. I don't think they are being held like doors padlocked and that kind of thing. But I think that he creates an environment that they feel like they
Mm,
can't or won't leave,
yes,
and basically the Stockholm syndrome. Like you don't
right.
want they don't want him to be hurt. They don't want the truth to come out. So they don't want to be around their parents because they probably feel like they may say or do something that would lead to some harm being done to him going to jail or whatever. So they don't want to be around other people. Because that's what happens with people in cults and stuff like that. They separate themselves from their families. They don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, and then something happens within the cult.
Right. I have the other question, and I am in no way defending, nor would I ever defend anything that this man has ever done. When I think about the fact that if you look at the women that are with him,
Right.
you know, he tried to be right on that borderline where I guess he felt like he couldn't get into any legal trouble.
Right.
But the older women that went to him, and I feel like they were brainwashed, I come back to, is that a crime?
Right.
Because I don't know.
Right. Well, I had this discussion with somebody. Is mental abuse a crime? Or, like you just said, is that a crime? Is that something you can go to jail for? It's definitely immoral, but is it a crime? You know, so did he do something wrong with the older women? I feel like, yes, he did something wrong.
Now, something morally wrong or legally wrong?
See, and that's just it. I feel like it's morally wrong, but I don't know if it's legally wrong. Like, this conversation got so deep with my son-in-law and daughter that, you know, my daughter's in law school and we were trying to figure it out.
Okay,
and,
law school need to get the answer to this question for us.
Yes. So we were like really trying to figure that out because, I mean, he's done so many other things that he could get charged for.
Yeah,
so
now he definitely will. Hopefully he will, and that will be over.
You know,
and they will be reunited with their families, or they would be taken to a place where they can get some help and be deprogrammed. But I was just wondering, and I wish if somebody knows, email us and let us know. If he's dealing with women that are over, and I don't even want to know, because see, that I don't even want to go to him anymore. I'm just going to speak general now. If there's a situation where somebody is being manipulated, and the reason I don't want to speak on him because I don't want it to come across that I am justifying the behavior, because I'm not. But generally speaking, because manipulation comes in all forms. So I'm thinking or wondering, generally speaking, if somebody is manipulating somebody to the fact where they are brainwashed and they're showing cult-like behavior, are there legal ramifications to that? Law school need to get on that for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to law school and tell her because
I want
to know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
and you're right. We just kept saying that to each other, like not that we are defending him, but just in general, is it just a moral issue or is it a legal issue too? Because physical abuse, we know right off the gate, that's a moral and a legal. But with emotions, you know, can a wife take a husband to court or have a case if she says he was just mentally abusive? Like, would I have a case for something like that? Because I feel like that's what these two girls are dealing with. Some sort of mental abuse.
I agree. And I think that everybody looking in can't fathom how they could stay with him and can't understand if they were free to come and do an interview, why not run, yell, scream, get me away from this crazy person? Well, I believe that they believe that that is truly where they want to be and he is truly
Right.
good to them.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that came from being
Right.
brainwashed. And that shows you the different levels of people because, as we saw from the documentary, there were girls that were there. And once they saw that behavior, they
Right.
were out.
Right.
But it's just some people aren't as mentally strong as others. And there were some that he was able to bring in, and they just could not
Right.
get away. And family could not get them
And
away.
you know, the other side of this is, as a parent, like I just, that would just, or even just my family member knowing that they're in this situation and there's really nothing I can do because they're not a minor. I
Nothing at
can't
all.
just bust up in his place. Although, you know, I don't know if I wouldn't have to get some of my crazy family members to just, we go storm the place and kidnap my baby and, you know.
Especially these girls whose fathers are in their life. Like, and it's been said throughout the years that they may have talked or known where they were. Like, okay, why are these men not physically going and getting their child? Pretty much like the one lady did. I think she may have been from Chicago. I'm not sure. She went and got her baby.
Right. And her daughter left and went back. After she got her, she went back and then she came back, you know, she came back home for good. But I just, and you know, you can't say what you would do. But I feel like I would make every effort to physically go get my baby. You know, like I especially, this has been going on for some years, especially when they were young. You know,
Right. I wouldn't be the one that's on TV doing all these press conferences like Mr. Savage. I would be there. I would be going there. I would be waiting outside of a house or hotel waiting for him. And okay, you're gonna take me to get my
right,
daughter, and I'm gonna get all my peoples with me. So we're gonna be numbered down just like you
right.
numbered down.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like I had a lot of questions about their situation. Like in the beginning, we all knew about R. Kelly, and so just the mere fact that they let the girls go with, like, your girls go
And
with him.
part of me
I
feels
you know,
like they were okay with it because everybody thinks that they are the exception to the rule and they are invincible. I can see some of these people thinking, "Oh yeah, we gonna move through this situation and see," because it's stardom, it's money, and
right.
the Azriel's parents. This was like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really, really knew what was going on with R. Kelly. But I think that they probably felt like they had a tighter rein on their daughter or that she wouldn't be sucked into that. But they were still willing to open her up to that exposure because of what they thought he could do for them. And I haven't seen anybody that he's put on.
And that was my thing. Like, if he, not, I won't even say if, but he didn't even, did he even come to you with receipts and say, see, I put on Sierra, I put on Beyonce, I put on Brandy, like all of that, that's me. You know, that's me. Not that that would still make me comfortable with
No.
my daughter being alone with a pedophile, but at least as a person looking at their situation, I might would say, okay, well, I see where you going with that. That's not how I would play with my daughter's
Right.
life,
And not
but I
to
can see, you
parent
know,
blame, but
right,
for Azriel's parents to say that they got to a point where they were comfortable with his camp. that they allowed their 16, 17-year-old daughter to travel with them, without them, it's questionable for me.
It's really questionable because his camp was around, or if it's not the same
Right.
camp, it was a camp, was around when he married Aaliyah.
Right.
So, and I'm not entrusting that because we all know how people act around celebrities. They people treat celebrities like they're gods, like they can do no wrong. And
Right.
so how do I know that you're going to protect my child the way I would protect my child against a pedophile, and you work for him? He pays you. He gives you the lifestyle that you have. And how do I know if he comes in and say, hey, I want to sleep with Azriel, then you're going to stand up against your boss for my child? No.
Well, the thing with that is it makes you wonder if some of the parents didn't have visions of being in the limelight and having some of that over, because I don't understand what other reason they would let that happen.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm not parent blaming or whatever. It's not a situation. That's not how I would handle the situation. But it also leaves a lot of questions that it's not like we didn't know things about R. Kelly. We
Right.
all knew stuff that was happening. And I was telling my sister today, I was like, we all knew about R. Kelly. And we got a lot of folks who out here, saying he didn't do it, or blaming it on the girls, or blaming it all on the parents. We need to stop holding people up just because they black and acting like just because you black you can't do anything wrong. It's
Right.
black people who do stuff wrong too.
Definitely.
We just need to uphold that R. Kelly is a pedophile. We need to admit that OJ killed them people. Like we need to come on with it and just understand it. Let it go. Like,
but you know what? That made
pedophile.
me think about, when you said that, I forgot we have another source of reference.
Oh.
Ask that question to the grumpy
Right.
lawyer.
I will.
Ask the grumpy lawyer our legal question.
I will.
Okay.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I did
the
too
grumpy
until
lawyer.
you brought it up. Yeah, but make sure you ask that question to law student and the grumpy lawyer and see what we get on that.
And maybe, okay, so the next episode on Car Chatter, I'll slip that in and let everybody know what the answer to that is.
Okay.
Is it a moral or legal issue?
Yeah, because I've been wondering that. I've been wondering that, and I would really like to know. My thoughts and prayers are with both Azriel and Jocelyn. The two ladies, more so than their families or whatever, but the two ladies, because I feel like they are completely dependent on him. And it makes you wonder. And I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when. When he goes to prison, what's going to happen to them? Because I don't know that they're in a place where they can return home, not in their current state. So I would say my thoughts and prayers are with them, and when he is taken away, that they will get the help that they need.
Absolutely. Same here.
Yes. And now we're going to go into our Ratchet recap, and we're going to talk about our good old friends from the A, Housewives of Atlanta. So, I've been waiting on this one. By wig. What did you think about NeNe's wig party? Or I should say by wig party.
Well, if my husband had just gone back in the hospital, I'm not sure, and I don't know her full circumstances. I'm not sure that I would be able to, host a party without being emotional if he was in the hospital. But then again, maybe because it's such a reoccurring thing, and the party was only going to last maybe a couple of hours, where she thought maybe, that was her little outing, her little break. I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, but I can't say. But I will say the party was cray cray.
It was.
Like, the party was crazy. Like, first off, I will say that a couple of the people surprised me that they actually had hair, because I didn't know that they had hair. Like, I just didn't picture.
But
like, them
most
having
most
hair.
of them, because they are in wigs 90% of the time, most of them do have hair because they really are taking care of their hair underneath. So most of them have hair.
Yeah, I guess I was just surprised that they actually had hair, because you rarely ever ever see it, like, so I was surprised. But some of the highlights for me was Shamari be getting drunk, and to me,
Uh-uh.
Shamari, bless her heart, she looks like, and somebody about to say something ratchet when they say bless her heart. But Shamari looks like 1994, maybe 95. She always looks like 1994, 95, sometimes like 97,
But what
but
about
she
her hair?
always looks like a
No.
flashback. And
Bec-
okay, I love hair. I
her
love
natural hair wasn't it for me.
But can we do it in a can we get it in a style, or what was going on? Like, who put the little? I just had so many.
Because the
questions
thing
about
is,
her whole
it was a
look. Like,
bi-wig party. So in my mind, obviously, if it's a bi-wig party, then that means you're supposed to come with your best natural hair. And that's what I was expecting.
right.
Your best natural hair. And I don't think we got that. I mean, my favorite was Eva, I think. And I was surprised that was all her.
Yes.
But like, okay.
Me
And then of course,
too.
you have your Marlos and your Portia, and Candy. They all have like the basic. They went and got the basic press or whatever. They were good. I think Tanya was
Right.
good.
What happened with NeNe's hair?
Yeah, NeNe was a no for me, and Shamari was a no for me.
Yeah, Shamari's whole look was disturbing to me. Her whole, what kind of MC Hammer pants did she have on?
Right.
Like, her whole look was a flashback to me. But when she got drunk and was patting on um, Tanya's vagina, and then she had her mouth all up on Eva's breast, I'm like, girl, you get real freaky when you get drunk. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to know what your limit is and do one drink less.
right.
Like
Instead
that's
of
not
knowing
cute.
your limit and doing 5 drinks past that. Cause
And you can't justify it by saying I'm not driving tonight. I got a designated driver. No.
no,
No.
no.
Having a designated driver is good, but that does not give you the pass to be groping your friends.
Yes. Because okay, that could be funny for like 30 seconds, but after that,
Yeah, and I get that. That can be, but what is not funny and what is not cute, you can't throw up on me.
ooh, that right there though, because I'm a repeater. So if you throw up, I'm going to repeat it and throw
But
up.
did you see Eva? She was like almost, it was almost
Yeah,
coming for
yes,
her.
that's me. Especially if I think about that you've thrown up on me. Oh, that would have taken me to a
And
different place.
like, you my girl and everything, but we not, you know, it's not like you my child or my man.
Right. And
That would
you're not
still
even
be
like,
difficult.
right, you're not even my best bud. Like
Right.
we just co-workers basically. So, but the whole party, like I didn't understand where NeNe was coming from when Marlo first walked in. And I'm not a fan of Marlo's.
Okay, why
But
was she calling Marlo? What's she call her? Marlo Baldy. Why was she
uh,
calling her Baldy?
I don't know. But I was like, what is it with Marlo? Why? I mean, to me, I felt like Marlo was being a real friend. She said Greg called her. She immediately, stopped what she was doing and went, jumped in the car, made the 45-minute or an hour trip, and then
Yeah.
you don't open the door.
Right.
Like, you
And
let
then
me
she got
come.
on Marlo for being late, and Marlo was like, "NeNe, I dropped everything and came yesterday, so I left my hair appointment or I missed my hair appointment, so I was like a walk in today, and I was coming because you didn't want to." Like and Marlo was getting emotional because she felt like you my sister and I love you and I was truly concerned about you. And Greg said you were kind of having a mental break and I get here, you don't answer the door. All kind of thoughts are going through my head because people are doing all kind of things when they reach their
Right.
limit. She was like, I didn't know what frame of mind you were in.
Right. And then for you to sit there, especially in front of other people, and basically berate her, like I was like, wow, you taking this I'm upset because Greg is sick kind of thing. And you don't get to use stuff so that you can be mean and nasty and then blame it on, well, y'all don't understand, Greg is sick and I'm having to deal with him. You don't get to use that though, because you still can't be mean and nasty because you might need me.
Oh, and
You
she
just,
definitely does. I have to insert because we were talking about Marlo. I saw on social media this week she lost her brother. Rest in
oh,
peace and condolences to them. And I thought
yeah.
about that when we were talking about Marlo. But let's go to Eva's face when NeNe grabbed the cameraman.
I know.
It was
Yes.
crazy. So the thing is, and NeNe, which we had already surmised, everybody knew what was going on. Everybody knew. And NeNe said normally she would have the crew would have full access to her house, but I guess because of Greg coming home and then out of nowhere he had to end up going directly back to the hospital and was just a lot going on. This particular time she said, my bedroom, the master bedroom, is going to be off limits. So
Right.
they talked her into letting a couple of the girls come up, but they knew that the closet was supposed to be off limits because I had said it did. She didn't want the ladies in there, but she didn't go ballistic when they went in
Right.
there. She went
Right.
ballistic when the camera guy was going in
Right.
there.
Right.
But then there ended up being this big mess about, did she touch Portia? She ripped Portia's belt off, or there was something going on with that because
Yeah.
in the last episode, I guess it was the last episode, they started talking about the belt, and then Portia was like, "I don't want to talk about that."
Yeah. I want to know the backdrop on that, because it seemed like she was just really upset about the cameraman.
Yes,
Because when Candy went back there first, she didn't get up, or she just kept saying stuff like, y'all need to come out of my closet, or y'all, how you do when somebody do something. I mean, I do my daughters like that, like, don't go in my closet, don't take nothing out of there, and then they go in there because I'm knowing that they're gonna go. I'm just
right.
like, come out of my closet, get out of there, whatever. And she seemed like she was in that kind of mood. She still was in good spirits. She still was, like, y'all don't go in my closet, whatever. But as soon as that cameraman headed that way, she
That was
snapped.
it. She did. She
Yes,
did.
she snapped.
Now, I saw her IG live
Uh-huh.
yesterday. So I guess they filmed the reunion, and I'm assuming that's coming maybe in the next couple weeks. But she mad with everybody.
With everybody. And if you read the comments, people were saying exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
Like at some point, you have to think to yourself
Is it
all the time.
me?
Right? Is it me? Because I'm always mad at somebody. At least 2 or 3 people in the group. I'm always beefing with. I'm mad at people more than I'm getting along with people because
Mm-hmm.
I was giving her credit for a good part of the season because she was actually, she was still NeNe getting pissed if stuff didn't go her way or whatever, or if everybody wasn't bow down to her. Like, it's always got to be NeNe's up here and the rest of the cast is, lingering somewhere down here. And if you don't bow down to NeNe, then something's wrong. But for the most part, she was actually kind of decent for the beginning part of the season. And then she just started to, you could tell the old NeNe was coming back and she was blaming it on, oh, well, Greg is sick and these ladies don't understand. Well, what you don't know is some of these ladies might have other stuff going on too. Just because we think that what we're dealing with in our life, how it's affecting us, you don't know what other people are dealing with in their lives and how it's affecting them. Just because they're not acting a fool like you, don't mean they don't have something just as stressful, that they're dealing with.
Yeah,
And they,
she did end up spiraling
yeah,
towards the end, but it
she's
just makes me
tanking.
wonder: is that just NeNe coming out and she is who she is, or did she feel like, okay, I need to turn up to justify why I'm here and to reclaim my spot in the spotlight?
Right,
But
right.
I was surprised that her anger also spills into Cynthia.
Right, and that's what I want to see. And that's what makes me wonder, is this really for just the show, like to beef up so they'll get a big viewing for the reunion? Because
I think some of it, but I really think that when NeNe gets mad, NeNe mad.
yeah,
Like
because
I
her
don't
and Cynthia
she can't
are,
really fake hers.
yeah, because they're pretty close. And for me, I really like Cynthia. I think she can be a little messy sometimes, but
Yeah, my thing with Cynthia is I like Cynthia too. But I don't think that Cynthia is an angel. I think that
right,
she get messy just like they all get messy. But NeNe, she
right,
did say, okay, you guys will see on the reunion. She do a lot of sneaky stuff. Okay, but who doesn't?
right. And I think, you know, Cynthia is Cynthia might be messy, but she still cares about NeNe. And she's still
I agree.
always,
I think
team
that
NeNe.
Cynthia truly cares about NeNe. I think that Marlo truly cares about NeNe. But the difference with Cynthia is I do think she can be messy, but I don't think that Cynthia is a person who likes drama or confrontation.
Right,
So I think
right,
she stops short of that. But
right,
with NeNe, if you are not riding for her 100%, she feels like you're not her friend and you're being disloyal. I don't
right,
think that we should have to uphold our friends in their wrong in order to prove our friendship.
right. And NeNe is territorial about her friends.
Yes.
So if she feels like you are swaying a little bit too much with a new friend or you having too much fun with somebody, she gets really in her feelings. So
She wants to be the center of attention, the center of everybody's attention cuz she
right.
feels like she is the HBIC.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She
So,
does, and it's crazy. I have one more thing on that episode. Have you ever had? I'm talking about Eva and Cynthia.
Eva and Cynthia. Okay, go ahead.
When they went, they had or Eva treated Cynthia to an appointment for colonic.
Oh, yes, Cynthia. Yes, I actually have had a colonic before.
I haven't, but I want to.
Okay, let me tell you. It is the second best. Okay, the very first time you had a massage, at least for me, the very first time I had a massage, I was so relaxed. I went home, took a shower, and had the best sleep of my life. Like, because I felt so good, I had the best sleep of my life. The colonic was the second best experience because
Really?
you feel light, you feel clean, and you actually lose a couple of pounds, which is
Okay, so that means you would do it again.
oh, I've done it more than once.
But you would do it
Yeah,
again.
I would
Okay.
absolutely do it again. Yeah,
Okay.
like I would absolutely do it again. And it was funny because it was the same exact setup, except when I did it, a lady came in and she had like candles and stuff, and she like massaged my stomach because for a minute it can get not hurt. It just like a period stomach ache. Where it's
Yeah.
kind of like a little cramping or something. And she came in and like did a little massage of my stomach, and whoo, it was like it's a good experience.
Okay,
I've done it
so
before.
I'm going to say when we meet up again, probably in a month or so,
Yes.
or we need to schedule one because
Yes.
I would need you to go with me.
I think you would, yes, and we could be just like them talking on the phone because you can't see
Right.
anything. You can't
Yeah.
see anything, and to keep without getting too graphic, it just flows without you having to help in any way. It's just
Yeah.
a continuous flow.
Okay. So we
But
will
yeah,
put that on the list and let's do that. Cuz I
we
want
will.
to.
We will. Yes, I'm excited now.
Good, good, good. Well, that is going to take care of this week's episode, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
If you would like to share your comments or let us know what you think about the episode, please email us at whawelikeinc@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at What We Like.
Make sure that you guys are doing what you like this week.
Because we'll definitely be doing what we like. Bye.
Bye.